Today on Judge Faith, a former police officer meets a grifter on Grindr and gets taken on a roller coaster relationship ride.
He reached out to me on an online app.
What app?
Grindr.
Were you looking to date an older man? Because it's a 26-year age difference between the two of you?
Correct. He came to me and asked if I would co-sign for a loan for him to have some plastic surgery done.
We also had discussions that he was an older guy and he had that kind of money and that kind of savings.
30 days after you meet someone on Grindr, they ask you for over $9,000, and you think this is a good idea.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Paul Davis says he gave his ex-boyfriend a loan to get excess skin removed, but after the defendant recovered from surgery, they broke up. He's suing for a loan for surgery and a cell phone bill. He's accompanied in court today by Marilyn Emerson. Defendant Taylor Timmons says he doesn't know because Paul offered to pay for the plastic surgery and told him that the money was a gift between lovers.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Davis versus Timmons.
Thank you, Juan. Paul Davis?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant Taylor Timmons
That's me, Your Honor.
for $8,532 you say he owes you for a loan.
Correct.
And a cell phone bill.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand the statutory maximum in my courtroom is $5,000, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so why don't we start from the beginning and tell me how you met the defendant and what happened here?
Certainly, Your Honor. He reached out to me sometime towards the end of March of this year, first part of April, on an online app.
What app?
Grindr.
Okay.
So a online dating.
What is Grindr?
It is a mail site for dating.
For dating?
Yep.
So you were on there looking for a relationship?
That is correct.
And
Your
you
Honor.
were as well?
Yes.
Okay.
And so he reached out to me, and we chatted back and forth for quite some time. And then
Why did you reach out to him?
Found him handsome, had a good profile.
Okay.
Said good things.
Were you, I'm just curious, were you looking to date an older man?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you were looking for someone younger?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because it's a 26-year age difference between the two of you?
Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. Made arrangements to meet one Friday evening after work, and we went to a local restaurant. Had an enjoyable evening, and from there, the relationship continued to move forward.
Okay, and so what were you doing at the time for work? Where were you working? Where were you living?
I had just moved to Minnesota and I was working for Caribou Coffee. It's a coffee place in Minnesota.
And what was your position there?
I was a store manager in training.
And approximately how much were you making a week or a month?
$20 an hour.
Okay, and you were aware of his financial situation?
Initially, when we talked, he portrayed himself as a district manager for Caribou and that he had oversight over 5 locations. It made sense as the relationship went on because as I would meet him at work, it would be at different stores. It wasn't always the same store. Mm-hmm. And so I believed that he was a district manager as he portrayed himself to be.
Okay. When does the issue of money first come up and why?
He came to me and asked if I would, initially, if I would co-sign for a loan for him to have some plastic surgery done. He had done a massive weight loss through surgery, mm-hmm. and as a result of that, had a bunch of excess skin that needed to be removed that was hanging. Mm-hmm. And he said that because of his college debt and such, that it was difficult for him to get a loan, and they would get him a loan, but it was at a 25% interest rate. I was not comfortable in signing that note and paying that type of interest.
Was he your boyfriend at the time?
Yes.
Okay.
So we talked about it, and I agreed to do it. He gave me a down payment in cash.
Well, how much was he asking you for?
Over $9,000.
Over $9,000?
Yes, Your Honor.
30 days after you meet someone on Grindr, they ask you for over $9,000?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you think this is a good idea?
At the time, yes.
What's going on? You tell me your side of this story, because you say you have a very different story to this, what he said.
I do have a different story. It was kind of more of the romantic approach that we met and we were boyfriends, and about 30 days into it, I was on my own seeking plastic surgery to remove loose skin from my weight loss. And when I went to the surgeon, I found out it was $9,300, and I had options. It was to do care credit, which is a great program, but it's 25% interest rate, which we were dating already for a month, so I had that discussion with him.
A whole month?
A whole month, yes. Stranger things have happened.
So you had a surgery to lose weight. What kind of surgery did you have?
I had a vertical sleeve, so they
Okay.
remove your stomach pouch.
How much weight did you lose?
I've lost 175 pounds.
170, wow, that's a lot. You submitted photos to
I
the
did.
court?
I have
May
photos.
I see them?
Yeah, of course. So on the left one, that's kind of my highest weight. I was 342. I was a size 46. And then the middle one is kind of that loose hanging skin on my stomach.
That's the surgery that the two of you had the discussion about to remove that loose skin?
Correct. It's called a
Wow.
circumferential tummy tuck. They go all the way around and remove it. Was really self-conscious, and that's kind of the discussion we had, is that my journey was not done yet, and that I was really self-conscious of that, and he really wanted to help me get rid of it. And the right picture is them actually once it was removed. That's me staring at my fatter self.
So you take a lot of selfies now, is what
do.
you're telling me?
Coming up, the guys disagree about the details of the money discussion.
You managed to get over $8,000 out of this relationship. Pretty good deal for you, right?
It's not why I went after this relationship.
You're exactly right. That's exactly what happened here.
Plaintiff Paul Davis says Taylor only dated him to get the money for the excess skin removal surgery. He's suing for a loan for surgery and a cell phone bill. Defendant Taylor Timmons says he doesn't know because the cash from Paul was a boyfriend gift.
So what specifically do you say the conversation was about the money? Because you say he gave you this money.
He did, and the first discussion was, hey, care credit, and he agreed that as a business decision, 25% interest is horrible. You know, I'm a young guy, he's an older guy. We also had discussions that he was an older guy and he had that kind of money and that kind of savings, and that in a year or two he was going to retire.
Is that the reason why you wanted to date an older guy, someone with money?
No, that's not the money, it's more of the stability. I grew up in kind of a bad household, and I didn't have that kind of stability, so the thought of an older man having that, I sought after. It wasn't the money.
But 30 days after you met him, he ends up giving you over $9,000, $8,000.
Exactly, and that's not why I met him at all.
So when do you say the issue first came up, when he started asking you, well, I want this money back?
So the issue came about after he had paid, after we had paid, and we had that kind of awesome feeling of, hey, can't wait, we're gonna have surgery. We're actually gonna have it sooner than I had planned financially. I thought everything was fine, and then pretty much every week something would come up that he was not happy with and wanted to cut things off.
So what, for example, and what do you say he said to you about the money at that point?
He said there's got to be a way that he can get his money back. You know, do I make monthly payments? Do I get a loan out and pay him back? And he just kind of kept up with this discussion, but it was every time he wanted to break up. The minute breakup happened, money came into play.
And you said he was the one trying to break up with you.
Yeah.
When did the relationship end?
I think about 3 weeks after we actually had the surgery.
Okay, so the two of you only dated for a little over a couple of months.
Correct.
Before you broke up. But in that time period, you managed to get over $8,000 out of this relationship. Pretty good deal for you, right? You were on to the next Grindr app?
It's not why I went after this relationship, and I got a lot out of it.
What do you say about it, sir?
Your Honor, you're exactly right. That's exactly what happened here. I discovered the night before his surgery that he had lied to me. And remember, I told the court that he portrayed himself as a district manager for Caribou. He comes clean and initially told me that, well, I'm just a trainer. And when I confronted him about why were you not truthful about this, his response was that he wanted to be on the same playing field, as it were, for education, financial stability, and such in our relationship, so that he would be an equal. Had I known about that from the very beginning, I would have never gone down this path.
That is in the very beginning. It's 30 days after meeting a stranger on a dating app. I always say, you know, when people meet on these dating apps and the issue of money comes up very early in the relationship, especially this significant amount of money, it's a red flag. I'd expect you to do a little bit more due diligence. I read your papers and you work in law enforcement. So as a part of your job, how many years have you worked in law enforcement, sir?
30.
30 years. So you are a trained professional investigator.
Who got hoodwinked.
And you got bamboozled, according to you, within 30 days of meeting, you know, this youngin' on Grindr.
And, Your Honor, I freely admit I am embarrassed about this. You hear about these things, and you don't believe that it's going to happen to you. And as a result of that, I put my defense shields down. And I should have never done that.
Why did the relationship between the two of you end? He said that you ended the relationship. Is that not the case?
No, Your Honor, he did.
Oh, and what was that conversation?
And he just told me that just couldn't be with me anymore. And he said that I was too unstable and emotional and this and that. Said, you can go.
You brought a witness with you today?
Yes, I did.
You want to step up, ma'am? What do you have to add to this case?
Well, that it was a loan. I'd seen Mr. Timmons. Mr. Davis showed me Mr. Timmons' paperwork the next night after he had signed.
What paperwork?
He had signed a loan.
He signed a loan document agreement?
Yes,
Yep.
Your Honor, he did.
Really? You didn't mention that.
I did not mention that.
Any particular reason? Because it's not good evidence for you?
No, it's not good evidence. It's the way it came about, and the way he's kind of portraying me is just not true.
Coming up on Judge Faith, Paul's bestie steps up to add her testimony about the roller coaster relationship.
You work in law enforcement too?
I'm retired.
Oh, so I'm sure you had a conversation with him about giving this young man over $9,000 after you just met him?
Yeah, we did have that conversation.
Plaintiff Paul Davis says Taylor used him for cash. He's suing for a loan for surgery and a cell phone bill. Defendant Taylor Timmons says he doesn't know because Paul scared him into signing a loan repayment agreement.
I have a document here dated May 4th, 2015 with your signature that you agree to make monthly installments of $250 for 3 years. You just met him on Grindr a month ago.
And that's the exact point, Your Honor, that the paper that he brought to me was more like a, hey, I want to save myself from what ifs, and it was
You signed it?
I don't even know.
You
I did
can read,
sign it,
right?
and
you read it? You read it, sir?
I agree. I signed it, but that was after 2 months, after he paid for it, after he agreed that it was the gift of, I love you, baby, we're going to get this, you know,
So,
for
Mr.
you.
Timmons, so you know what you say when someone brings something to you like this? If it's not accurate, I won't sign this.
Yeah, and
I won't sign it. You know at this point, this is a contractual agreement, right? And he's bringing this to you because he said, I loaned you the money. What you want me to do now is look at this document and disregard it completely and credit your oral testimony here in court today when you signed a document saying you would pay all this money back. Why should I do that? And you want to come into court and tell me this was just a gift and it's all one big misunderstanding and did he put a gun to your head and say sign this? He works in law enforcement. Did he put a gun to your head?
He had a gun on the counter
Did
when
he do that?
He made me sign it.
Did he do that, sir?
He was in uniform, so.
Oh, he was in uniform. So you felt intimidated
Your
and
Honor,
threatened? Is that what you're telling me?
That is an absolute lie. He signed it that morning at the breakfast table.
So he didn't force you to. He didn't
I was
threaten
off
you
that
to.
day, Your Honor. I got up. We had breakfast.
So you were having coffee and croissants and you felt intimidated when he presented you with this document. That's what you're telling me?
Yeah.
I was persuaded to sign that document.
Okay, well you're an adult. You're 26 years old. You're an adult. You've had 2 major surgeries. You've made a lot of decisions in your own life. You have a job. You take care of yourself for the most part, except when you're looking for somebody to help you pay for over $8,000 in surgery. But you clearly know how to make your own decisions. I don't believe for a second that you were persuaded. That doesn't bother me. The only way this document isn't legal is if he threatened you or coerced you by using threat or force. And you're not telling me that he did that. So you signed this of your own free will, agreeing to pay this money back.
Your Honor,
What is your relationship with the plaintiff?
We're friends.
Friends.
We've known each other through law enforcement, and then after I've retired.
You work in law enforcement too?
I'm retired.
Oh, so I'm sure you had a conversation with him about giving this young man over $9,000 after you just met him?
Yeah, we did have that conversation.
And Your Honor, the interesting thing with this, with the loan is that he indicates that it's a gift. he portrayed himself through this whole thing as, as being that district manager. And what he told me is that it won't take me 3 years to pay this back. I get commissions and such based on the performance of my stores. I used to be a district manager.
Did you see any of his pay stubs?
No.
So you don't know how much money he was making?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Let's see a contractual agreement, and being in law enforcement, you'd think that these discussions would happen. That's why I'm like, this is such an odd paper for me to sign.
What?
Not a real paper.
You think he should have
Totally
grilled you
fake.
more? He should have interrogated you? What are you saying?
That it was, I don't know.
You're judging his technique now?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know, Mr. Timmons,
I don't
because
know.
there's really no excuse, sir. I think we both know what happened. I think everyone watching knows what happened. You took advantage of a situation, and I'm just a little in shock that you allowed that to happen. I don't know if my sister came to me and asked me for $9,000, I'd have to vet her. Well, what's going on? I need to see some. I need to see some checks or something.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
There's one other issue. You say that he owes you for a cell phone loan?
Yes.
When did that happen?
On May 31st, he sent me several text messages, and he said that I know that our relationship isn't in a good spot right now, but I really, really need your help paying my cell phone bill before they turn it off.
So you must have been scared out of your mind. When he comes to you, you've given him $9,000, and he said his phone is about to be cut off, because that means he is broke. He has no money.
Oh, and Your Honor, that was
You know you're not about to get $9,000
No.
back. He can't even get a cell phone.
Correct. And that's when I looked at it, Your Honor, and went, oh my God, if I let the phone get cut off, I have zero chances of trying to recover any of this.
What was going on? Why couldn't you get a cell phone? You were working, right? Or you just saw it as another opportunity to get some money?
No, it's not what
Out
happened.
of Daddy Warbucks? So you owe him for the cell phone too, is what you're telling me.
Did we have a discussion of me paying him back? I don't remember, so.
Your Honor, we clearly had a discussion that was going to get paid back.
Are you still on Grindr? Are you moved on past that now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Bad experience?
Yes, we're done with that.
All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I find in this case there's really no dispute that this was a loan based on the documentation that you did have the wherewithal to get. This is what happens sometimes. You don't use your best judgment when it
Correct.
comes to matters of the heart, but we've all made those mistakes. As I instructed you earlier in the case, Mr. Davis, the statutory maximum in my courtroom is $5,000. He owes you more than that.
That is
However,
correct, Your Honor.
I'm ordering him to pay you the max, which is $5,000, judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor. Hard lesson learned. It's embarrassing to come on TV and admit your personal life. And I just appreciated the fact that she was considerate.
So I thought all of this was from love, and it was all romance, and I was getting, I don't know, a gift of sorts. He was excited, inspired by my story, and wanted to help me, and it didn't end up like that.
Today on Judge Faith, these fraternity brothers discover they make better friends than roommates.
He felt unsafe because Dylan had a gun, and he would use it to intimidate Jason.
The gun is registered under my father's name.
And you're not supposed to possess it at 20 years old.
And later, they were picking up their sons at school when their cars collided.
All he had to do was look over to see my vehicle there, and he would have avoided this collision.
I didn't even really hit him.
So you have your version, he has his version, and you decided not to call the police because there was no need to, but look where you are 2 years later.
Yes.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiffs Dylan and Jim Ferris say Dylan's former roommate and fraternity brother broke a one-year lease several months early. They're suing for unpaid rent and utility bills. Defendant Jason Cole says living with his fraternity brother was a nightmare, and he was forced to move because he felt unsafe. He's countersuing for emotional distress. He's accompanied by Julie Cole.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Ferris and Ferris versus Cole.
Thank you, Juan. Dylan Ferris?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Jim Ferris?
Yes, Your Honor.
You are suing the defendant Jason Cole for $3,000 for unpaid rent and utilities.
That is correct.
And you are countersuing, sir, for $1,000 for emotional distress?
That is correct, ma'am.
Okay, and who's your witness?
This is my mother.
Okay. We'll start with you, Dylan or Jim, whoever wants to start. Why don't you tell me what's going on here, what happened, and why you're suing the defendant?
Okay, well, Your Honor, we originally met freshman year of college at the University of Toledo. We met through the Army ROTC program there at UT. Mm-hmm. We started becoming good friends about a year later because we joined the same fraternity. And then about a year after that, so about in 14, we decided that we wanted to live together, room together.
So what month and year did the two of you move in together?
That was May of 14. That's when they entered into the lease. He and Jason entered into the lease. The lease is clearly set for 3 people, and so there was discussion to bring in a third.
So you would split the rent 50-50 until you found a third person? Was that the agreement?
It never really got to that point, okay, because there were three people living there, okay, in the house, whereas Jason was going back to California, and they made an arrangement whereas he could keep his truck and keep his belongings there for the summer, okay, for a reduced rate.
Are you about to tell me about other people who are not on the lease living in the apartment?
Yes, and it was
okay.
That was supposed to be, well, there was supposed to be the arrangement, as I understood, that when Jason came back, there would be another roommate it wouldn't be Dylan's girlfriend, it would be another guy that was moving in. And somewhere along the line over the summer, while Jason was home in California, that fell through, and when Jason came back, the girlfriend was living there.
Your girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay.
But my girlfriend moved in very shortly after Jason moved in, probably 4 to 5 days, maybe. He knew, and I had talked to him about it before she had moved in.
What did the landlord say about her? Because I don't see her as a part of the contract here.
Shortly after Jason moved in, Your Honor, we started pushing towards getting her on the lease. And everything was done for her to be on the lease. Mm-hmm. Her parental cosign was done. Everything except for her name actually being on the lease. That wasn't brought up, we didn't even know that was the case until Jason moved out, and my landlord had called me.
You didn't know she wasn't on the lease?
No, the whole time we had thought that her name was on the lease.
Well,
right
she would have to
sign.
she would have to sign a document.
She had done paperwork and everything, and she had done the parental cosign. So I guess it kind of fell in the cracks because my landlord never contacted and said, hey, whoa, there's 3 people living there. There's only 2 people on the lease. Mm-hmm. What's up with that? We didn't know that her name wasn't on the lease until he moved out. And then my landlord contacts me and says, why isn't her name on the lease? And I said, okay, let's get it on the lease. We have her parental cosign done. We have everything we need to do. Let's have her go in and sign so we can make this official.
And did that happen?
We needed everybody else's on the lease. We needed their agreement.
Right.
Jason refused.
When we knew that we needed to have Jason move out, we suggested that the girlfriend take his place. And the landlord would not consent to that. He would not help to make that happen. He seemed more standoffish and not helpful in these proceedings.
Is that true?
My girlfriend wasn't allowed on the lease because you needed everybody on the lease's agreement.
He would not consent.
He refused. Mm-hmm. And in turn, he wasn't allowed off the lease because you need everybody's agreement on the lease.
Mm-hmm. So you broke the lease when you moved out?
I did
correct?
break the lease because I felt I wasn't safe there anymore.
What were the issues you had living there?
Coming up, the roommates reach a breaking point when a gun is revealed in the home.
He would be sitting on the couch and the gun would just be in front of him. He would carry it to the restroom with him, and it kind of gave me a reason, just like, why is he bringing this around now?
Okay, what's going on?
And later, a dispute over who caused a car crash.
The door actually was stuck from the collision. It wasn't major, but it got dented in and it got scratched up.
Is this photo from the date of the incident?
Probably 3 months.
3 months later.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to know the damages from this accident and not from something that occurred during the 3-month period in between?
Plaintiffs Dylan and Jim Ferris say Jason broke his lease early. They're suing for unpaid rent and utility bills. Defendant Jason Cole says he was forced to move because Dylan made him feel unsafe. He's countersuing for emotional distress.
He felt unsafe because Dylan had a gun and he would use it to intimidate Jason.
What happened?
Wow.
What are you saying happened?
There was an event on October 8th when he found out that I was trying to move out. So he came to me and said, hey, I want to talk about this. I said, no, I'll only discuss this with the landlord present. So I went to my room and locked my door. He didn't accept that as an answer, so he proceeded to come to my room and bang on my door. He was threatening to break the door down, swearing onwards and on for about 20 minutes until I finally came out and tried to talk to him.
When does the gun come in?
The gun came in the next day when I shut the door, emailed my professor, said I can't take this test, left the house. Next day I started to move out. The gun starts coming around and I said, this is just the end of it. This is giving me every reason to get out. And I alerted the landlord that I would no longer be
When you
living
say
there
the
anymore.
gun was coming around, be specific as to what you observed. I'll give you an opportunity to respond, but what are you saying you observed?
He would be sitting on the couch and the gun would just be in front of him. He would carry it to the restroom with him. And it kind of gave me a reason, just like, why is he bringing this around now? Why does why does he suddenly have a gun?
Where do you want me to start, Your Honor?
Do you have a gun? Did you have a handgun?
Yes, Your
I have
Honor.
a picture of the gun.
How old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
Okay.
The gun is registered under my father's name.
It's my gun.
And you're not supposed to possess it
In my
at
home.
20 years old. What were you doing with the gun in your apartment?
It was home defense. The gun was on my nightstand. I never threatened him with it, and I never even pulled it out around him.
This isn't my first rodeo. I've heard people come in and they break the lease and they say, I wasn't safe, I didn't feel safe. And it's a convenient excuse sometimes to use to get out of a lease. The second thing is you have a duty to mitigate, and that means you can't just come into court and say, hey, he owes me for 6 months rent. You have to prove to me that you actually tried to find someone else to replace him on the lease. You're in the fraternity. You have all these fraternity brothers. University of Toledo is a big school. I find it hard to believe for the remainder of this lease, you could not find one other person to move in, or perhaps you wanted the house for you and your girlfriend to have to yourselves. I don't know. But in this case, I'm not awarding you money for emotional distress because your remedy was to move out of the home. You didn't call the police. You didn't go forward with a formal complaint against him. I'm not awarding you monetary damages for emotional distress. And since you testified that you're suing for unpaid rent for 6 months, you're also suing for the utilities. You said perhaps only $10 or $20 was the amount that he didn't pay. I'm not ordering him to pay any of the utilities as well. And then the third thing I want to say is stay away from each other, because this is my ruling and this is my judgment based on the evidence. So I need for both of you to be grown-ups at this point. Stop talking about things on Facebook. Don't go back to school and start talking about this case and each other. Well, he tricked the judge and he said this and he said all these things about me, because I'm telling you, I didn't base my case on that. I based my case on emails and documents that he wrote before he ever knew there would be a lawsuit in this case. I find those documents to be credible. Judgment in this case for the defendant.
Plaintiff Jesus Padilla says he was merging into his lane when the defendant's car hit his Astro van. He's suing for damages to his van. Defendant Timmy Tiet says he doesn't owe any additional money because the plaintiff was found to be partially at fault and received a check from Timmy's insurance company.
Jesus Padilla?
Yes.
You were suing the defendant, Timmy Tiet?
Yes.
For $2,000 for damages to your van, you say he caused in a car accident?
That's correct.
Okay, let's start from the beginning, sir. Tell me what happened.
On February 5th, 2013, I was on my way to pick up my son from school, so about 3 o'clock. I was driving northbound on San Gabriel. I submitted some map to the court, if you'd like to take a look at it.
Okay, let's pull that up.
For the area. I was driving northbound on San Gabriel Boulevard. I normally turn on Dewey, which is the next street up.
Why don't you step over to the
okay.
map and you can just point to me and tell me which direction you were traveling.
I would normally go to the next street up, but there was heavy traffic on San Gabriel Boulevard. I entered the left turn lane from this broken area and moved forward in a slow manner. There was cars coming this way, so heavy traffic, so I had to slow down.
Just point to what lane you were in and which direction you were traveling so
This lane, going northbound.
Okay.
So I was going northbound, about to make my left turn, had to slow down for oncoming traffic, like I said, and the defendant hit me about this area, about 1 car length in front of where I would have made my turn.
Well, where was he coming from?
He was also going northbound, picking up his child also from the same school.
So he was in the lane to your right?
Yes, the lane right next to me.
Okay, so he's traveling in the lane to the right and he crosses over to get into your lane?
Yeah, he merges into my lane, and strikes my vehicle on the passenger side, hitting the passenger side door and the sliding door on the Astro van.
Okay, all right, thank you. And how do you say this happened, sir?
The day that I was trying to get in from the
Right lane to the
right
left lane,
lane to the left lane,
Mm-hmm.
and before I was making my left, I was looking at the left lane to see any clearing before I turn in. So when I went in, that's when he sideswiped me, and then I didn't even really hit him. So
he sideswiped you?
Yes, he was like running the turn.
Okay, why don't you go over to the map and point to me? Tell me which lane you were in.
I was on this lane, going this lane, trying to get to my left, and then I was trying to here. By the time I got to here, I saw there's no car, so I went in. And then I guess he came behind me and then went over it, and we were making a left, and we were here exchanging information already.
Okay, so you were merging into the left lane. He was already in the left lane. Did you have damages to your car as well?
Yeah.
So what happened after the accident? Did you call the police? Is there a police report?
There's not a police report.
Why not?
Well, we didn't feel that there was a need for one. There was also
really?
a rush to go pick up our children from school.
Okay.
They were a priority. When we pulled over, I mean, as you can see, what he pointed out, he entered through the solid white line. If he would have looked over, if he would have seen his mirror, he would have noticed a big blue Astro van right next to him, right? You know, we weren't speeding. Traffic was slow because of heavy traffic. So all he had to do was look over to see my vehicle there, and he would have avoided this collision.
He's saying that he was getting over into a lane and there was no traffic and you tried to pull up.
That's incorrect, Your
So
Honor.
he would.
Heavy
That's his version. So you have your version, he has his version, and you decided not to call the police because there was no need to. But look where you are 2 years later.
Yes.
Coming up, Judge Faith digs deeper and discovers the rest of the story.
Basically, they were giving me the runaround. They were giving me the short end of the stick. They didn't want to help me out. The accident was 100% his fault. He hit me from the side. There was no way I could.
According to you?
Yes.
According to him, it's not.
Plaintiff Jesus Padilla says the money he received from the insurance company wasn't enough to pay for the damage caused by the crash. He's suing for damages to his van. Defendant Timmy Tiet says he doesn't owe any further money because the plaintiff was found to be partially at fault.
Show me where the damages are to your vehicle.
Your Honor, when I pulled over, I have pictures also submitted to the court. The damage on my vehicle starts from this AWD from here and back on. That's where his front.
One, would you hand me the photo?
Yes.
Do we have that in the flat screen?
As you can see from the pictures, it's kind of hard to tell. It's not a major collision. It was really slow. So he dented in the.
Show me walk over to the flat screen and show me where the damage is.
So the damage, you can see from this little dimple here, starts from here and ends about right here. The door hinge got angled in. The door actually was stuck from the collision. It wasn't major, but it got dented in and it got scratched up.
Is this photo from the date of the incident?
This photo was, I'm gonna say, months, probably 3 months.
3 months later.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to know the damage is from this accident and not from something that occurred during the 3 month period in between? Step back over to the lectern.
It was never damage to the doorknob or any of those things that I noticed of.
What's going on about the damages to your car?
So when I was trying to go through the insurance,
The two of you exchange information?
Yes,
when
we
we pulled over on Norwood, I got out. I was trying to assess the damages, and at that point, I saw how sketchy he kind of was. He wasn't very clear about what he was trying to do. It just didn't get a good vibe from him. So I told him, I'm recording this, man. I put the cell phone in my pocket. I was recording it with audio device, my cell phone, and that's when I submitted to the court. Is this audio recording that he was basically saying, you know, I'll fix it for you. Basically, he's admitting fault. You know, he's saying that we'll take care of it.
Okay, I want to hear the audio recording. Did you admit fault?
No.
You say you take care of it?
No, I never said I'll take care of it. I said I'll give it to my insurance. I'll give my statement to my insurance. It's part. The insurance have saying that partial is my fault, partial is his fault.
Did you tell him that day, oh, I'm sorry I hit you, I'll take care of this?
No, I never say that word. No,
Okay,
sorry.
let me hear the audio.
There's two ways of giving it, okay? I can just give you some money and you have it, get rid of it, or you can, because the insurance will say anything under 500, it's gonna come out of my pocket. They won't take it.
Yeah. All right.
So, what do you want to do?
Well, we still got to figure out how much it's going to cost, because if it costs more than that, then I mean, it's better off going through the insurance.
This is a small little matter.
Yeah, that's something small, man. That's no big deal.
Oh, I can just give you $100 and we just go in all separate way.
So,
I mean, you're both saying that this is, he said it's a small matter, you said, yeah, it's a small matter, no big deal. So why are you here suing for $2,000?
Because that's the estimate that I got from Body Shop was $2,500
For what?
For the damages to the vehicle.
That $2,500 is more than that van is even worth.
For a scratch.
Your Honor, I believe the Clearly Blue Book at the time was about $2,700. $2,500 is the damages to fix the vehicle. I understand the cost of the vehicle.
Where's your estimate that it would cost $2,500 to fix the damage as a result of this accident?
Unfortunately, Your Honor, I lost that paperwork in the midst of moving, and I don't have it with me
But you
currently.
knew you were coming to court today, and this is your case.
I did. Your Honor, my intentions at the beginning were never to sue. I wanted to get it cleared, fixed through the insurance.
How am I supposed to assess damages if you have no proof of what they are?
The insurance, Your Honor, paid me a sum of $474.84.
Okay.
And they told me that was 25% of what their estimated repair costs were.
So they only paid 25%.
So, Your Honor,
so what did you pay out of pocket to fix the van?
I haven't fixed it. It wasn't fixed. The accident was 100% his fault. He hit me from the side. There was no way I could.
According to you?
Yes.
According to him, it's not.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
What else do you have in terms of putting fault aside? How do I know how much it would cost to repair the van? Where's the van?
The van has been sold since the accident, Your Honor.
You don't have the van anymore?
I don't have the van anymore.
You
it has
sold
been
it?
over 2 years since the van was
So
in the
you're
accident.
asking for money to repair a van that you don't even own anymore?
I'm asking for money for the van that I could have sold for more. I sold the van for about $500.
Show me proof that you sold the van for $500.
I don't have that proof with me, Your Honor.
I can't help you, sir. I can't help you. You tell me you sold the van for $500. For all I know, you sold it for $2,500. You have no proof in court as to how much you sold the van for. You don't own the van anymore. I can't help you, sir. Your case is dismissed. Judgment in this case for the defendant.
Today on Judge Faith, she helped her BFF get bigger breasts, but now she wants her money back.
If this is something that she wanted for a very long time, this is over 3.5 years she's been talking about this boob job, then you know what, I'm gonna make her dream come true.
So what happened? You gave her $5,000 in cash?
I gave her $5,000 in cash.
Who gives someone $5,000 in cash without getting a receipt or why would you do that?
And later, her boyfriend bailed, leaving behind a broken heart and unpaid bills.
I came home from work and Brian was gone. He moved his stuff and he was not home and he moved out.
Why would you do that?
I had enough. It was a lot of things going on with me at the time.
So you just left?
Yes.
No warning, no note, you just packed up your things and left?
That's correct.
Like a coward.
Faith Jenkins. Her distinguished legal career began when she graduated first in her law school class. She quickly became a tough New York City prosecutor, and then a preeminent legal analyst on cable news. And now she's the judge in her own courtroom. Her cases are real, and her rulings are final. She is Judge Faith. Plaintiff Brandis Bogg says her former medical marijuana dispensary employee begged her to cover the cost of breast augmentation surgery and then refused to pay her back. She's suing for an unpaid loan. Defendant Kylie Lucero says the new breasts were a gift because her former boss had a lot of money and wanted to help. She's countersuing for harassment. She's accompanied by Troy McConnell.
All rise. Court is in session. The Honorable Judge Faith Jenkins presiding. Please be seated. Your Honor, the litigants have been sworn in. This is the case of Bogg versus Lucero.
Thank you, Warren. Brandis Bogg.
Hi, good morning.
You're suing the defendant Kylie Lucero?
Yes.
For $5,000 you say she owes you for a loan.
Correct.
Okay, so why don't we start from the beginning and tell me how you know Miss Lucero?
Well, Kylie and I started volunteering in dispensaries in summer 2011, and then
what kind of dispensaries?
Medical marijuana dispensaries.
Here in California?
Here in California, where it is legal. And then about
what do you mean by volunteering?
Volunteering, we volunteer our services, our time to help serve patients, make sure that they're knowledgeable of the medication that they are receiving.
So you weren't getting paid?
Correct.
And what were you getting in exchange for volunteering?
Medicine. Marijuana.
Okay. And so you have a, This is a California audience.
Yeah.
So you were volunteering at the dispensary. In exchange, you were getting medicinal marijuana, you're saying, for free. Why did you need it?
I needed it because I have an immune disorder. I was diagnosed in 2008. The medications that they were prescribing me, it was just not working out for me. I wanted a more holistic way of fixing myself, I guess, and the medical marijuana does do that for me.
And so this was like your full-time, what you were doing full-time volunteering at this dispensary?
I was doing it part-time. I had a part-time retail job as well.
Okay, and what about you?
Why I smoked?
Yes.
I didn't have any medical condition. We also made tips too.
Okay, so you were volunteering, and did you get medicine as well?
Yes.
But you don't have a
but I
condition.
don't have, no, I don't.
How did you get a prescription if you don't have a condition?
Anybody can get a prescription nowadays. I can say I can't sleep at night and they'll give me a prescription for that.
I see you over there cleaning your nails, sir. You act like you don't even want to look at me right now. Who are you?
I am her boyfriend / fiance.
Don't understand
Okay, why don't you have a seat for a second? So the two of you met at a dispensary?
Correct.
You say, and then that dispensary got shut down?
Correct. Yeah.
Why is that?
Most alcohol.
Because she was getting medicine for free? And that's illegal?
Yeah, you would think, but no, the DEA comes in and shuts down. Whatever federally they assign to state police, they go ahead and do because it's a federal order. So it's something that happens between like every year to year and a half of one shop being open.
Were you the only one getting free medicine, or were there others?
There were others.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's why the DEA
does
came in.
Yeah.
Are you aware of this? Are you aware of this sort of volunteering at dispensaries in exchange for medicine?
Not to my knowledge, no.
Coming up, a half-baked contract causes confusion.
They told me as long as it's written down and signed, then you have a contract.
The witness.
There was a witness.
I don't need a witness. She just, hold on a second, sir. She just admitted to the court that she read and signed this agreement.
Yeah,
I don't need a witness. She's the best witness right here.
And later, a lover leaves unexpectedly.
I don't know. I kind of felt like I was having like a nervous breakdown or something. I mean, I didn't understand what was going on with my body. I was talking
Where
to
did
the
you
doctor. I went home.
And you didn't feel comfortable discussing this with your girlfriend, the woman who you'd been living with for almost a year and had been dating for 2 years?
Plaintiff Brandis Bogg says she wanted to see her former employee happy, so she agreed to let her borrow the money for the new breasts. She's suing for an unpaid loan. Defendant Kylie Lucero says she doesn't owe anything because the money was a gift and not a loan. She's countersuing for harassment.
So after that, she goes to get her old job back at her other dispensary under the boss that she did not like. And that's fine. This whole time, though, she's been talking about getting a boob job. I want to get a boob job. I want to get a boob job.
And you talked to her about borrowing the money.
She begged me
I did not
more
beg.
than
She
2-3
offered.
times.
She offered.
She
the money.
begged me about
She
2-3
offered.
times.
Well, tell me about the conversation. Tell me
She
what
offered.
happened.
She was like, I have $30,000 just sitting here. Like, I wouldn't mind giving you the money for your boob job because I couldn't get finance.
Because she probably has bad credit from not paying other people back.
So what do you say the conversation was?
The conversation was she came over, she's like, I really need this money, like, you know, this and that. And then the next time I visited her, it was like, I only need $5,000. I only need $5,000. Please, please, I'll pay you back. I promise. It'll be my priority. And honestly, I got tired of her.
Did you ever tell
begging.
her that you had $30,000 sitting in your bank account?
No.
Did you have $30,000 sitting in your bank account?
No,
She
I sure did
offered
not.
because she felt guilty.
I did not have
So you're saying that she
30,000
offered,
cash.
you're saying that she volunteered to give you $5,000, no strings attached, just because the two of you were volunteering together at a couple of marijuana dispensaries and had become friends?
Yep, I thought she was my friend.
She had offered her multiple times.
You are
I have
her
not
boyfriend?
offered
Yeah,
anybody
Step over to the left.
we lived together, and she told me, she's like, yeah, Brandy offered
Well,
to
did
lend
you
me the
hear
money.
her? Did you hear the conversation? Or are you just telling me what she
No,
told
what
you?
she had told me. She said she offered her the money, but she didn't want to have to owe her money. So
But did you hear that directly from the plaintiff?
no.
Basically, I got tired of her begging me. I was like, okay, you know what? I can manage. I have enough saved up. I come from a wealthy family. I said, okay, if we're gonna go ahead and do this loan, then I wanna write a contract that states that you have to pay me back X amount per month.
Where'd you get the money from?
It's something I've saved over the years. I'm privileged. That's all I gotta really say. I mean, I know how to manage my money and I don't pay rent. You know, I'm very blessed. So I figured, I'll help somebody else out. I'm a good person. I put others before me. And, if this is something that she wanted for a very long time, this is over 3.5 years she's been talking about this boob job, then, I'm going to make her dream come true.
So what happened? You gave her $5,000 in cash?
I gave her $5,000 in cash.
Why would you give her $5,000 in cash? I'm just curious.
Because we had a good friendship.
But you say you know how to manage your money and how responsible you are, and I'm just wondering who gives someone $5,000 in cash without getting a receipt, or why would you do that?
I used to do her hair too in exchange for that.
What?
I used to do her hair for free in exchange
prior
for
to
that.
the
You used to
loan,
do
she
her
was
hair
doing
in
my
exchange for what? $5,000?
Yeah, for her giving me that money. Yeah. I'm trying to be nice and pay
I
her
would
back
have to
some
do
of
a lot
that.
to my hair for $5,000.
When she used to pay me, it was $200.
Okay.
And with this, she used to drive an hour and a half to me. She never would specify, okay, it's gonna be $70 for this. She would be, I don't know, just pay me whatever you want. So every time
Did
she
you
did that,
get
I did
the
that.
breast implants?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I have a picture.
And do you have any evidence of how much they cost?
No.
How much did they cost?
$6,000.
You used the $5,000 that you
she gave
got
me,
from her,
yes.
that you say she gave you.
I have the pictures of the before and after.
May I see the photo? Oh, do I want to see this?
On the left is before and on the right is after, which is a very obvious difference.
I mean, okay, so well, she admits that she got the
She's
breast
basically
implants,
flat
so
on the left,
it's
and
not-
then on the
it's not
right
in dispute.
she has big old knockers on that side.
Well, I mean, it's not in dispute. She admits
She's
that
always
she
wanted
did
a
get the
boob job too,
implants.
so don't let her fool you.
I appreciate the photo, but it's not in dispute that she got the
Correct.
boob
She has
job.
photos of me.
But the question is, do you have any evidence that this was a loan versus a gift?
I do have a written contract.
You signed a contract?
It was not a contract.
May I see what you have, please? What do you say?
It's
it is?
online piece of paper. It was a joke. Yeah.
I mean, I come from
There's
a
no
background.
lawyer. There was no.
So just because it's on a lined piece of paper,
I come
you're not
from a-
taking it
joke.
seriously? It's a joke, and I shouldn't take it seriously?
I mean, I come from a background of
Did
lawyers.
you sign this? Why don't you
She was high when she wrote it, so.
To be honest, I come from a background of lawyers. They told me as long as it's written down and signed, then you have a contract.
Why isn't he here then? Because he's a
I'm
witness.
asking you a question, ma'am. Is that the document you signed?
Yes.
Okay.
There was a witness.
I don't need a witness. She just, hold on a second, sir. She just admitted to the court that she read and signed this agreement.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I
need a
didn't think it
witness.
was
She's
like
the best witness right here. She signed
It
it.
says boob fund.
I mean, this is really clear cut. You both signed an agreement. She loaned you $5,000 on August 17, 2014. You agreed to make monthly payments for a year of,
She also said I could do
payments
her
between
hair.
$400 and $450. How many times have you done her hair since you signed this agreement?
4 times.
4 times. Okay, so we're not even near $5,000.
No.
Okay, so to be fair, since you did make this side agreement that she would do your hair in exchange for deducting some of the money from the $5,000, here's what we're gonna do. And she did your hair 4 times. So I'm going to deduct $800 for your hair services. What is your counterclaim for $1,000 for harassment about?
For her harassing me for her money?
Asking for the money?
Yes.
Okay, I see no evidence of harassment, ma'am. So your counterclaim is dismissed. Judgment in this case for the plaintiff, $4,200.
Plaintiff Andrea Hughes says her ex-boyfriend played her from day one. So it was no surprise when he broke their lease months early. She's suing for unpaid rent. Defendant Brian Bailey says his ex-girlfriend told him she'd cover the remaining rent and is only demanding the money because she's angry about their breakup.
Andrea Hughes?
Yes.
You are suing the defendant Brian Bailey?
Yes.
For $2,400 for unpaid rent?
Yes.
So as I understand it, you're alleging that the defendant did not pay 3 months of rent last year, October, November, and December?
Yes.
At $800 per month? That's where the $2,400 that you're suing for comes from? Okay, so why don't we start from the very beginning and you tell me how you know Mr. Bailey?
Okay, I met Brian in the beginning of 2012 at our local college. We had a couple of classes together. And despite our age difference...
What is the age difference?
I'm 37 and he is 51. We pretty much hit it off and we started dating. And we dated for almost 2 years when we decided to move in together.
Okay, and what do you have to say, sir, about how the two of you met?
It was, like you said in the beginning, it was good. Everything was going nice. You know, we hit it off intellectually.
What were you studying at the time?
Television and film.
Okay, and so you had a few classes together and the two of you dated for 2 years before you moved in together?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically, in January of 2014, we moved in, signed a 1-year lease agreement.
Both of you were on the lease?
Yes.
May I have a copy of it, please?
Sure.
And was this a 1-bedroom apartment?
It was a 2-bedroom with a den, yes.
Okay.
He signed the lease and
what
we
was the
agreed
agreement
to
in
pay
terms of who would pay?
50-50.
Is that true?
50, yes, that's correct.
And what was the total amount of rent?
$1,600.
Okay, got it.
And everything was going fine until about September. I had a couple classmates come to me and inform me that I wasn't the first one in school that Brian had seen. And in the beginning of our relationship, he was seeing another student there.
Coming up on Judge Faith, the lovers reveal more about their relationship.
Actually, she was just jealous and insecure. If I talk to anybody, I was like doing something. If I talk to a woman, I'm cheating. If I'm talking to a man, I'm gay. I mean, she was just doing all kinds of stuff, you know?
Plaintiff Andrea Hughes says her ex-boyfriend walked out on the lease and their relationship. She's suing for unpaid rent. Defendant Brian Bailey says he doesn't owe any money because his ex-girlfriend agreed to cover the rest of the lease.
2 years later, at the time, they pretty much told me that it was in the beginning of our relationship that he was seeing someone else.
Oh, at the same time?
Yeah, at the same time. Mm-hmm. So I questioned him about it. And of course, he denied it. He said that the men who told me that, they just wanted to hit on me and the women just wanted to cause drama.
Was it true what they were telling her?
No, it wasn't. Actually, she was just jealous and insecure. You know, if I talk to anybody, I was like doing something. If I talk to a woman, I'm cheating. If I'm talking to a man, I'm gay. I mean, she was just doing all kinds of stuff, you know?
So in 2014, you both are still students at the school? At the
Yes.
same school where you met?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
So you're hearing this and you approach him about it?
Yes. And pretty much I didn't have sketched in stone evidence, so I just put it in the back burner for a moment.
Were you being insecure?
No, I wasn't. You know, I wasn't insecure at all. That was the first time that I approached him with anything as far as cheating or other women or anything like that.
Okay.
Once I put it on the back burner, October the 1st, I came home from work and Brian was gone. He moved his stuff and he was not home and he moved out.
Why would you do that?
I had enough. It started in...
So if you're dating someone for 2 years and you've lived with them for 7 months, you just pick up in the middle of the day, pack up all your stuff and move out without giving her the tiniest bit of closure?
I was trying to talk to her about it. I had been trying to talk to her about it, but she just wasn't hearing me.
What, a disappearing act? You were going to tell her you were going to pull a disappearing act before you did it?
No, actually I was trying to talk to her, but she wasn't hearing me. And it was a lot of things going on with me at the time.
So you just left?
Yes.
No warning, no note, you just packed up your things and left?
That's correct.
Like a coward? What was going on?
I was having some physical. In September, I had helped some friends move, and then I ended up having like a cramp in my back, and I ended up massaging it out with the massager, and it went down into my leg, and then it turned out to be like deteriorating disc and sciatic nerve, and I was just in a lot of pain. We weren't engaging in sex a lot and stuff like that. She thought it was that I was seeing somebody else, and it wasn't that at all. I was really trying to figure out what was going on with me, you know.
Did you know he was having some physical issues?
Yes, I knew that he was going to the doctor.
Despite that, why is the solution to that picking up and moving in the middle of the day?
I don't know. I kind of like felt like I was having like a nervous breakdown or something. I mean, I didn't understand what was going on with my body. I was talking
Where
to
did
the
you
doctor.
go?
I went home.
Where's home?
Wisconsin.
And what is your condition now? Is this something that's been resolved?
It's still going on. I mean, I'm going to the doctor every month now.
And you didn't feel comfortable discussing this with your girlfriend, the woman who you'd been living with for almost a year and had been dating for 2 years?
I did talk to her about it, but she just wasn't hearing me.
What I actually think is true, Your Honor. I think he was cheating, and when I questioned him, it shook him up a little bit, and he ran. And that's what I believe.
So you leave, you stop paying rent, but you think he's coming back?
For at least in the beginning of October, I still was thinking that he was coming back.
And that would be okay with you?
It would have been okay because I needed the rent money. I wanted him to come back and take care of his responsibility at home.
Why do you not think you owe for those 3 months, sir, if you were on the lease and disappeared in the middle of the night like you described here today?
Well, when I was there, and after I told her what was going on with me, she told me that it would be okay. She told me that she would take care of it for, that time. I mean, during the relationship, it was times where I paid more money than she did.
I'm not asking you about those times. I'm asking you about October, November, December, which you're obligated to pay half.
At the time, she said that she was going to take care of it, and then I told her, once I got back on my feet and everything, that I was going to help,
Okay, did you ever do that?
No.
Coming up, Judge Faith rules. And now, Judge Faith rules.
Are you in a relationship now?
No.
Where do you live now?
I'm staying at different families' houses.
In Wisconsin?
Yes.
What do you know about his current living situation?
I just know he moved back home. I do know that there's an ex there. I believe that's where he's at, but I have no clue.
Okay, based on everything I've heard today, you haven't given me a valid defense as to why you don't owe for 3 months of back rent. Even if the two of you were to enter into a new agreement where she agreed to pay for the rent and cover those expenses, I would need to see that in writing because his lease is in writing. In order for you to amend a written lease, you'd have to amend it and agree to it in writing, and I don't have that. So that's the first part of my ruling. The second part of my ruling is I do not believe that she told you you did not have to pay rent for those 3 months. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff, $2,400.